TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, the Islamist Hamas terror organization released 3 Israelis and 5 Thai nationals following 482 days of captivity. Egyptian President Abdel-Fattah al-Sisi rejects U.S. President Donald Trump's proposal to transfer Gazans to Egypt and Jordan. Israeli Defense Minister Yisrael Katz warns the Palestinian Authority over its support for terrorism. Following 482 days in Hamas captivity, 8 hostages, to include 3 Israelis and 5 Thai nationals, have been released to Israel this morning in exchange for 110 convicted Palestinian terror operatives, including 33 who are serving at least 1 life-term sentence. Following separate charades by the Islamist Hamas in which the terror group paraded the Israeli hostages before handing them over to the Red Cross, 80-year-old Gadi Moses, 29-year-old Arbel Yehud, and 20-year-old Agam Berger arrived in Israel and were united with their loved ones. Moreover, 5 Thai nationals who've been kidnapped by the Islamist Hamas on October 7th of 2023 were also returned to Israel, with their relatives closely monitoring their release from Thailand with high anticipation.
We've been waiting for over a year, hoping and praying for him to come back to us. This is what we've been praying for every day. In the end, there was no warning, nothing to prepare us for this hostage release. 2 or 3 days ago, there was no sign. But when we spoke to the church clerk, they said, "It won't be long now. It won't be long before there's good news."
Following the release of the 5 Thai hostages, Thailand's ambassador to the State of Israel voiced her deep appreciation for Israel and the Shamir Medical Center for taking care of the Thai nationals who've endured 482 days of Hamas captivity.
Thank you for all of you today. Sawadee ka. I wait for today for so long. I could hardly breathe today. And that's why we keep looking on TV. And not only me, the Thai citizens in Thailand, the whole government, and everyone also looking forward to welcome back our 5 hostages. And thank you, the Israeli side, and especially the hospital that take good care of the Thai, for all kinds of preparations. Yeah, thank you.
Prior to the release of the hostages in the Gaza Strip, IDF Chief of General Staff Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi met with the commanding officers of Southern Command, as well as Division 99, among others, during the course of which he stressed the crucial importance of constantly remaining vigilant.
I'm telling you that this heightened readiness over the past 24 hours has led to a very, very significant improvement, both in another upcoming hostage release and in expediting the return of Arbel Yehud, where they tried to pull a trick on us. Firstly, I think you handled this in a very serious way. Secondly, you must always assume that someone might try to carry out some kind of offensive action here. I don't know if it's likely or unlikely, but you need to work under that assumption, enforce the ceasefire vigorously, and constantly remain vigilant. Ultimately, we are enabling this transition of Palestinians northward in order to bring back female hostages so far, and male hostages will be returned in the coming days. This is of critical importance. We are an army that takes great pride in implementing the policy and implementing the decision to bring the hostages home. And we will be just as proud to return to fight when deemed necessary.
General Halevi went on to instruct the respective officers to ready the troops for the moment that they may once again resume fighting the Islamist Hamas and its terror affiliates in the Gaza Strip.
Gather intelligence, observe what's happening around you, and secure yourselves. Every quiet day that passes increases our chances of bringing back more hostages. I trust you. Just as you fought with skill and bravery, you will know how to make the right decisions in the best possible way. So, a quick regrouping and good results. This looks to me very much under control. Keep your eyes open and stay prepared for what's ahead.
It is important to know that General Halevi's visit was at the Netzarim corridor in the central Gaza Strip, where U.S. President Donald Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, also made a visit to gain a first-hand impression of the situation on the ground, after which the American emissary traveled to Jerusalem to meet with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yisrael Katz, respectively. Following those meetings, it was revealed that Witkoff also raised President Donald Trump's proposal to relocate Palestinian residents from the Gaza Strip to Jordan and Egypt. However, while President Trump's proposal is being seriously evaluated by Washington, Egyptian President Abdel-Fattah al-Sisi made a public address during the course of which he rejected Trump's proposal outright, saying that deportation or displacement of the Palestinian people is an injustice in which they cannot participate.
The historical injustice that happened to the Palestinians when they were displaced before and they did not return to places they were previously assured that they could return to after rebuilding it. Can this case be repeated once more? I do not think so. I say that if I ask the Egyptian people to do this issue, they will all go out to the streets to say no, do not participate in injustice, do not participate in injustice. I say it very clearly. The deportation or displacement of the Palestinian people is an act of injustice in which we cannot participate.
The Egyptian head of state, whose country is heavily reliant on roughly $1.3 billion of U.S. military aid, continued by insisting to the Egyptian public that President Donald Trump is in fact a proponent of the internationally aspired two-state solution, in convenient disregard to statements made by the 47th President of the United States of America, who repeatedly asserted that he would accept any type of solution so long as it is negotiated and agreed upon by the parties themselves.
I say that regarding what is being said about the issue of displacement of the Palestinians, I would like to reassure the Egyptian people that it can never be tolerated or permitted because of its impact on Egyptian national security. And to reassure you that we are determined to work with President Donald Trump and that he wants to achieve peace and reach the desired peace based on the two-state solution. And we see that President Trump is able to achieve that goal for a just and permanent peace in the Middle East.
Turning to the West Bank district of Samaria, where the Israeli Defense Minister Yisrael Katz visited the Palestinian city of Jenin, during the course of which he reiterated that Jerusalem had declared war on terrorism throughout Judea and Samaria, and that this war aims to crush the terrorist infrastructures that were erected by the Islamic Republic of Iran in Palestinian villages, towns, and cities.
We have declared war on Palestinian terrorism in Judea and Samaria. Operation Iron Wall is intended to crush the terrorist infrastructures that were erected in Palestinian refugee camps with Iranian funding and armaments. The IDF is operating vigorously in the Jenin refugee camp to thwart terrorists and destroy the terrorist infrastructures, as we saw here today. The Jenin refugee camp will not return to what it was. After the operation is completed, IDF forces will remain in the camp to ensure that terrorism does not return.
Defense Minister Katz continued by relaying a warning to the Palestinian Authority, which essentially allowed the northern Samaria region to turn into a terror-infested hub of Iran-backed terrorist groups.
I am sending a clear message from here to the Palestinian Authority. Stop funding terrorism and the murder of Jews and start seriously fighting terrorism. Anyone who funds the families of murderous terrorists and educates their children to destroy Israel is endangering their very existence.
מסכן את עצם קיומו.
It is important to know that the IDF, in close cooperation with the ISA or Shin Bet and Border Police Special Operators, eliminated dozens of terror operatives in the northern Samaria region since Operation Iron Wool was launched on January 21st. Moreover, yesterday, an Israeli Air Force aircraft struck a gathering of armed terrorists in the area of the Palestinian town of Tamun, eliminating at least 10 terror operatives in the strike, including Omar Basharat and Muntazir Bani Oda, who were involved in the detonation of an explosive device on January 20th, in which an IDF Sergeant First Class in Reserve, Eviatar Ben Yehuda, was killed and 3 additional soldiers sustained wounds. Moreover, according to a joint IDF and ISA statement, the 2 terrorists were involved in additional shooting and explosive attacks. Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to thank all of you who proactively support TV7 Israel. TV7 Israel is a non-profit ministry with all of our productions exclusively reliant on monthly donations. Therefore, if you're blessed by the contents of our programs, I would like to encourage you, support TV7 Israel with a donation. You can do so via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Separately, I'd like also to encourage you, as ever, pray for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. I'm Jonathan Hassan, wishing you an Erev Mevorach, and God willing, we will see you during our next update. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.